it's Nikki T here at Moonchild Tarot, and I have another VR. This was a VR created by Coffee and Tarot with Mama T, and I originally saw this VR through Lady Cara Tarot. I will link their videos down in the description below. I really liked this cards and creativity tag because it's gonna give me a chance to do like a full reading in the space of a video and get out lots and lots of different decks. I'm gonna do it in the way that I saw Lady Cara do it, with 10 different tarot decks, one for each card. I am really excited to be getting into this tag, so without further ado, let's get started. So I have shuffled my cards in response to each of the prompts. If you want to join in, the prompts will be down in the description. Please tag me in it, just so I can see all the amazing responses to the videos. So the first card within this tag, and this is talking about creativity and our creative process, is the Face It card. And I picked my Trionfi de Luna because it's a very good deck for having a bit of a blunt conversation with. So it says, reflect on yourself and who you are today and your place as a creative being. Now the card is the Six of Cups. Now, oh, that sent me in a bit of a curveball. So Six of Cups, nostalgia, the past. Where are you as a creative being? I have been using tarot since I was 25 years old. I'm 45 now. So that kind of harken back to the past. My past has shaped me as a creative being. My past kind of goes through everything that I'm doing and I'm doing now as a person who is, you know, newly discovered that they were not just dyslexic but further neurodivergent in my 40s. That kind of looking back on the past and learning, and that influencing what I'm doing now and wanting to help people, wanting to build that community of people that are very similar to how I am and may have had similar experiences and similar kind of similar outlooks and healing that needs to be done. I think, yeah, it's my creative process is part of acknowledging my past, acknowledging what kind of wisdom and guidance and everything that I bring from lots and lots of healing, lots of work, lots of interest in psychology into myself now and what I'm doing. I have counselling qualifications. I was a teacher, all of that. You know, I studied drama. All of that is feeding into my creative process. But also, I'm just noticing them passing it down. This is also for especially my daughter, but for my children to look at and kind of that legacy. This is kind of like a running grimoire. This legacy I will pass on to them through these videos and through this channel. So I have got one foot in the past, but one foot firmly in kind of the present to build that legacy. I think, you know, the card legacy, the word legacy is really repeating with me. And I think that's the reason I'm doing it, to build that legacy, to create that legacy. And I'm using what I've learned in the past to guide that and to move that forward in order to help others. Now, the second card is Rest. Now, People who know me know the word rest is a bit of a trigger word for me. I hate being told to rest. My brain never rests. It's always on. It's always got about 50 tabs open and it's always going and going and going. So with some trepidation, I have used my Phantom Wise Tarot because it's got a nice, gentle, childlike energy to it. So this is an invitation from your soul to let your mind and body rest and energize you in order to prepare. So what do I need to rest? Wow. That rest, I need to maybe look at things chapters that need to be closed, waiting for the rebirth. The rebirth is coming, but I also have to let go of things that have hurt me in the past, close that chapter, because that's made me it's made me who I am. It's made me really resilient. Being diagnosed neurodivergent quite late in life has taught me how resilient I am. I am a resilient being. I keep getting back up no matter, what the world throws at us, what the world kind of brings to the table. We keep going, we keep pushing, we keep reinventing ourselves and going through this kind of cycle of letting things go and rebirthing. I see the death card as kind of the phoenix card, the phoenix rising from the ashes. And I think, yes, I need to close some chapters and kind of say goodbye to them and put them to bed in order to prepare for this rebirth, in order to prepare for me to move, definitely as we're moving into the year of the horse, the fire horse. A lot of things have happened in 2025 that kind of was a bit of a death card moment. I left teaching, I changed the way I work, I was navigating my disability, as well as being neurodivergent and all the challenges that kind of come with that. So there's been a lot of shedding that I've been doing, and at the moment it's just to rest, ready for that rebirth to kind of come along. She's covering herself up. It's okay to isolate yourself for a little bit and to stay in your bubble while you're kind of amping yourself up for the fire horse to kind of take over, to move forward and everything like that. It's okay to have a bit of rest in this period of, I've had a lot of changes in the past 12 months since, this time last year, roughly, I handed my notice in and then everything changed. So it's okay to rest at the moment because things are kind of going to take a trajectory to move forward. Now, the next card 3, is the growth. So what is the muse to expand and deepen your creative process? So where is the growth? And the card I got was the Page of Wands. So for me, the Page of Wands is about grabbing hold of those opportunities. I always think of the pages that are a bit like if you give a toddler a stick, a sword, a pentacle, or a cup, what will they do with it? Now, a inquisitive Page of Wands would be there prodding everything with this stick. You've ever got a stick and prodded things and moved things and been having that inquisitiveness, having that curiosity. So in order to expand, approaching things with a curiosity, approaching things with that fire, that light, that sense of and I'm just trying to look at what the thing is in the person's hand. Just trying to look at it more closely. Oh, he looks like he's got a gavel. He looks like, sorry if this doesn't, but he looks like, to me, he's got like something like a gavel, small gavel or something. He's got his finger on it. It's like having your finger on it, getting them opportunities, not kind of saying no, creating the opportunities, that will be the expansion for growth. Keeping on, lighting that fire of tarot, learning more, having that like passion, letting the passion drive. So my growth is very much about letting my passion drive me, letting my passion fuel me, and that will take me to the places I want to go. So the next card is getting honest. So what is the emotional impact of your work and being an aware human in, on this planet? And I picked my kind of comfort deck here, my Tarot of the Abyss. So what is the emotional impact of my creative work? The Hermit is, so that's wisdom, that's knowledge, that's I'm going to be gaining a lot. I always notice that she's holding the snake there, and the snake might be, things might go bad, people might kick off. You might, if you think about people always have an opinion, and they might be getting very angry and getting very het up, but you notice she's not worrying. She's remaining calm. She's got that hand, she's got that soothing magic touch. And that knowledge, that wisdom is gained that will soothe others. The snake is going to eventually lose steam and kind of almost like give up. She's got a strong hand on it. She's got a firm grip. She knows a lot, but also she knows when the time is right to use her other hand to touch the snake. It's kind of having that right timing, having that, moving with your tradition and your knowledge and your skills, which I have a lot of, but having that right time to pass that wisdom on, to pass that energy on, when to pull the plug, so to speak, is what I'm getting with this. Is the emotional impact is it's giving me wisdom. It's giving me wisdom, but also she's quite aged. She's older. Her hair's flying everywhere. Yeah, it might be full of energy and it might be quite draining, but it's going to give that inner wisdom. It's going to give that inner strength. The Hermit, I always think of characters like Yoda, like having that inner strength and wisdom of knowing when and when not to do things. A very like Yoda kind of moment there. So the emotional impact is it's going to help me learn. It's going to help me know when to deal with the snake and when not to deal with the snake. Very, very strong kind of imagery there. Now, card 5 is what flow or excitement I need to embrace. And I use my Yukio Tarot. Wow, the 3 of Swords. I didn't expect that in a kind of flow position or an excited position, kind of what is the excitement? But I think, again, it's rooted with this 6 of Cups. It's the idea that my past and my past hurt and my past pain and all the kind of healing and trauma that I've gone through will help me galvanize and move forward in the future. 3s are about growth. So the 3 of Swords is about moving on from that past hurt, moving on from that past pain. The swords galvanize the heart, make it stronger, make it able to move on. That resilience, that is what is I've got to let that flow. I've got to let that past pain kind of in and flow and let it drive me and let it move me forward, and maybe being a bit more open with it, because I am quite a private person in terms of talking about my experience with life, the world and everything. There was a reason why I learned counseling skills and had a real interest in psychology. There is a deep-seated reason for that. And I think that kind of, that pain, that hurt, I think should be maybe something that is used as a springboard to ride that passion, to move forward, to show that I am stronger and better for it, and therefore other people can be like that as well. Because if I can do it, I'm just a 45-year-old lady in the northwest of England, and I I've moved through it. And I'm still healing and still learning, but other people can. It's about taking them and saying, giving them that hope. I always see this as hope. It's over and done with, but these scars make you stronger. The hurt, the pain, it makes you, and like the veins there going into the swords and wrapping it round. Like this storm within you makes you so much stronger, makes you able to tackle the world and to move forward and to make it a little bit better with kindness, with compassion, with empathy. So I think that is embracing that empathy and that understanding, and that I've been in a lot of positions other people have, and I can help people with that, and I can help them, learn, move forward. Now, moving on to the next row, we've got what hurdles, how to deal with blocks and obstacles, and the card I got was the Knight of Wands. So I think with this, the Knight of Wands is, knights are about forward motion. It's about going forward. And the Knight of Wands is the most passionate, fiery. We've got the Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands. I think to overcome those obstacles and blocks and those hurdles is sometimes I am my own worst enemy. I will get tired and I will be like, oh, I haven't got the brain power to do it. And I will sit and doom scroll and things like that. Maybe I need to have that charge in action of, I'm going to go and do it. This is my eyes on the prize. I'm going to push through, no matter how painful it might be, is pushing through and having that drive and having that determination to make it work. It's got to come from me. It's got to come with that passion. As I said, in my previous video, the top 3, and I'll tag that down below, my big 3 tarot, I am a Capricorn sun, so I can get very complacent and very much in routine and comfort, and because it's safety, it's comfortable for me, it makes me feel safe and secure. However, I do have and the Knight of Wands, I do have this Venus rising and this Sagittarius moon. That is, the fire and the passion is there within me. I've just got to let it go and let it explode and keep moving forward and not worry about setbacks, not worry about whether it's going to be successful or not, just driving with that passion and kind of going at it like a bull in a china shop, I would think, kind of just tackling it completely head on. Now, so that was card 6, the hurdles. So the hurdles is maybe it might be my passion might end up having me get burned. The Knight of Wands is act first, think later. So maybe it is going to be a case of I might be worried that I might get burned or whatever, but I've just got to do it. I've got to be in the mindset of, if I get burned, that's a future Nikki problem. A boss of mine, absolute legend of a boss, used to say, well, that's a future me problem. It's not in the present. So when we're thinking about the future, it's a future Nikki problem. I don't have to worry about that now. I will deal with it as and when it comes up. I will, not respond to it. If I don't like people, just, not if I don't like people. If people are nasty in comments or say things like that or anything like that, there's a block button. I can just disengage. If I don't like somebody's content, I can just disengage. That's what I meant. I didn't mean like I'm just gonna block people, get rid of people left, right and center. But yeah, I've got to not worry about the impact of my actions as much as to just go with it and go forward. And that's me more unmasking and being more authentically myself. The next question, the blues. The blues as a muse for retreat and rest as experiencing in dormancy. So what is dormant? What has retreated and rested for a later kind of a later date. And I have got the the 9 of Swords. Apologies, my reading of my Roman numerals is not strong today. So the 9 of Swords, she's there, she's gripping, she's, there is that doubt, that worry, and that worry, and those sleepless nights and those, but what if, as I said, is a future Nikki problem. They've retreated, that worry, that anxiety has retreated for a later date. Yes, she's there, she's holding on, the swords are there, but somebody might come through the door at any minute and rescue her. That nothing is certain here at the moment. It does look, even though things might look really, really bad, on reflection, are they really that bad? Like, I would get quite het up about people expressing their opinions and feel like it was an attack on me. I have to be like, no, that's not an attack on me. That's just that person, and just, go my own way. I'm getting Fleetwood Mac's You Can Go Your Own Way in my head, like screaming at the moment. So not worrying about what other people are going to think, worrying about the consequences, not worrying about if things will work or if things will be successful. I'm in the infancy of kind of with this, exploring this journey into tarot a lot more and a lot more deeper. I am in a really good position. It's a bit like the Fool. Don't worry about the future. Just take that leap and take that jump. Now, number 8 is the shadow. So how does your shadow speak through your creativity? So again, we've got another Knight card. We've got the Knight of Swords. And so, yeah, I think it links in with this overthinking. I think my shadow speaks through my creativity in terms of that Gollum voice that comes in my head and tells me that because somebody hasn't interacted with a video or whatever, that I'm less than. I've got to kind of change that mindset. I've got to be more logical and analytical with it and kind of take away because again, the Knight of Swords, he rushes in with his opinion and he doesn't think about whether it's going to hurt people. And I need to kind of have more of that detachment away from, I think like Queen of Cups, being in my emotions and thinking about everybody else. By thinking about everybody else and what they're doing and trying to please everyone, I'm not pleasing myself. So I think with this Knight of Swords and like, if you've got any other suggestions, let me know in the comments. The Knight of Swords is that shadow of that over analysis is what I kind of need to move away from. That over emotional, I need to kind of think, well, let's look at the fact, I don't like to look at matrix, but let's look at the numbers. And I am a numbers person, and that sometimes can get me into a bit of an emotional state. But even seeing it from Mystic Mand was brilliant with this, because she said, imagine all the people that watch your videos as members of people in a room. So 30 views, that's 30 people in a room. That is a really good way of thinking about it. 30 people have come into my room and for however long listen to me, and kind of changing that mindset to help me move forward there and move out of that shadow of that worrying and the anxiety and the fear, because my Gollum voice does stop me. I've got this little voice, we call him Gollum, and he tells me I'm not good enough. And I need to just recognize that that is an intrusive thought. That is my nervous system telling me, trying to keep me in a safe position, because moving forward, they don't know if that's going to be a threat or whatever. I'm not a caveman. I'm not having a lion run at me, but my brain doesn't know the difference. Our brains are wired, so we don't know the difference between a real life, threat to life, like a tiger running at you, or somebody not engaging with your content. We don't know the difference, but we go into that same fight, flight, freeze response. When somebody unfriends you or blocks you, we go into that same fight, flight, freeze response as somebody who, is running at you with a weapon. So kind of distinguishing what is the negative thought, what is the negative thought process, and kind of challenging that and saying, you're an intrusive thought, you're trying to keep me in this position, you're trying to keep me stuck, you're trying to, she could try and hoist herself up, you're trying to keep me in this negative mind loop. Now, the next 2 questions, just having to turn over my notebook, I've wrote it all down. We don't just rock up and record a video. It takes quite a lot to, plan and do. The number 9 is the grey area. So dealing with ambiguity, uncertainty, and discomfort. So how can I deal with ambiguity, uncertainty, and discomfort? We've got the Knight of Pentacles, and this makes perfect sense. My discomfort is, I have a bit of a discomfort if I don't see like tangible growth, or there's a slump. It immediately triggers that I want to not do it. I am very much of a person that has a hobbies graveyard to a certain extent, and if something doesn't spark that creativity, keep that flow going, I will ditch it really, really quickly. And I think what it's saying is the grey area is, it's gonna be a slog. It's going to be hard work. The Knight of Pentacles, I love this card so much. I identify it with so much. The Knight of Pentacles is a hard worker. He gets the job done, but he takes ages to do it. It isn't a marathon. It is, it's opposite. Sorry. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. We're climbing up a mountain. We're not climbing up a little short hill. It's going to take time. The grey area is seeing that progress. Like, he's stopped there. He's, the horse has stopped. He's not moving. And in the Rider-Waite-Smith as well, it's one of the only knight cards that isn't moving and isn't moving forward. It's a slow pace. It's finding, it's being okay with the discomfort of nothing happening, because things might be happening, and keeping on going with it. Like, when things don't happen, I am less likely to keep pushing it, to keep putting a video on, or, short form content. I do TikTok. I found it really, really hard to keep up with doing TikToks, because the progress, it's very like hard going, and I've got to step into this Knight of Pentacles energy of just do it anyway. Just do it. Just get on with it. Just plow through. And that's not to say I'm going to do things that I don't want to do. If I'm being told you need to do this, my sense of rebelliousness comes in and goes, I ain't doing it. If you're telling me I have to do it in a certain way or have to do a certain thing, I'm gonna stop and be like, nope. Where the passion is, I've got to still keep going. I've still got to find out little ways of igniting that passion, maybe learning a bit more, maybe learning about growth, and thinking about how can I get from A to B. How can I learn? Like, I'm still learning about YouTube, and how can I learn what to do? How can I make my videos the best content? How can I make that? Because I want to build a community in order to help people. I want to build a community of of people that are here for each other and support each other and have that sense of safety net camaraderie. And I've got to keep pushing at that. That's the grey area. I've got to deal with the discomfort of not knowing whether it's actually, because the Knight of Pentacles, again, he follows a leader and he will follow that leader kind of not almost blindly, but he will, if he thinks it's a right cause, he will keep following it and having that blind faith. And I think I need to encourage more of that blind faith moving forward and just trust that people want to hear about me and my experience or whatever, whether that's showing you decks or whether that's just me talking about tarot and everything to do with myself. Now I've picked my favorite film deck. This is my comfort for my last question, because this is the black and white. So this is an invitation to commit decisive action and with confidence. So what do I need to do? What action do I need to take, and what do I need to commit to? And the card that I got is the Emperor. So I need to commit to having that power. Like, the ball here is well and truly in his court. He's got the ball, he's protected, he's got the bottle there, he's got everything he needs to. He needs to just, it's, you know, the fatherly figure of standing in your power, having that strength, having that, knowing that that I have power and I have authority and I have strength and ability and a good strong foundation. It's encouraging me to lead. It's encouraging me to do it. It's kind of, this is almost a bit of a call out, because it is kicking me up the backside and it is saying, come on, Nikki, you need to do it now. You need to get on. You need to put everything aside. You need to get rid of the, you know, the worry that it's not going to work out or what, and you need to do it. You need to push forward. You need to kind of take charge and grow and push. And I think as well, I need to be firmer on my boundaries. And I'm working at this. Like, a year ago, my boundaries were terrible. I would just let everybody have 20 million chances, because I would see, oh, everybody's got good in them. Everybody deserves, you know, a chance, and we need to forgive everyone and stuff like that. And now I'm getting to the point, and maybe it's age as well, I'm getting to the point of, yeah, I can forgive you, but I don't need you in my energy anymore sometimes. I don't have the mental bandwidth for people who are going to push my boundaries. So I'm just going to politely disengage and move away from it. The same with content. I don't need to watch content just because I feel like I have to. You know, if that content and that person doesn't align with my beliefs in kindness, respect, and kind of moving forward, I'm not going to watch them. I'm just going to move on. I'm going to just, you know, take that as a sign to say, yeah, I'm moving on, because there are plenty of creators. There are plenty of creators who put their point across in a respectful way and do look at the grey area. I think linking back into this idea of the grey area, there are a lot of creators that have their opinions and feel very strongly about their opinions, but they are mindful and respect that other people have different opinions. Like, for example, all of these decks might not be your choice of decks, but I wouldn't judge you for not liking these decks. It's just not your thing. There are decks that I see and lots of people rave about them and they don't do anything for me. I'm not going to kind of throw anything out there about, you know, oh, this is my opinion and therefore I'm right. No, I respect that again, I like to talk in analogies. One man's meat is another man's poison. It's, it's whatever floats your boat. These decks absolutely tickle my metaphorical pickle. And I love them, and that's why I kind of picked them. And that's fine. You don't have to like these, but there's an ounce of there's some kindness and respect to just be aware that people are different, to be aware that we're all coming from different gnosis, different points of view and things. And I've said it in a lot of videos as well. We have to Apologies, I cut myself off mid-sentence there. I thought I had a ghost. It was the washing machine. It turns out the washing machine is being a bit loud. But yeah, I'm at this point now where I think we're in like the tarot community and everything. We can all coexist with respect and with kindness. That's not to mean we're in an echo chamber. We all don't agree, and that's fine. There are lots of people that I follow and I love who don't have the same viewpoint about tarot that I do, and that's perfectly fine. I'm constantly evolving and I'm constantly learning, and that doesn't mean you can't call me out or things like that, but it's the way you do it. Anyway, I digress, but I think the black and white of it is about having some firmer boundaries with things and not worrying about making sure I comment on every single video that I watch and every single I do try and comment on every comment, and reply back to every comment that people, because you're taking the time. And I think, again, this is something that's kind of come up just now. I think if people have, and I know that some creators have loads of comments, but if you have taken the time to respond, if people have taken the time to respond to your video, there should be a little bit of effort to maybe respond or things like that. I don't know. And maybe that might change. That might be something where my boundaries might change as it gets harder to cope and things like that. But and maybe I need to have more dedicated time where I will say, oh, for this hour, I will respond to comments or I will watch other people's YouTube videos and things like that, so I'm not blurring the lines. And maybe that's where the boundaries need to come in. I'm not blurring the lines of, oh well, I've just had tea, I'm not going to watch telly for another hour, I'll just sit and watch YouTube. Like, maybe I need to do something a bit more productive rather than, I don't know. I love watching everybody's videos and I love hearing about everybody's different points of view. So maybe that's something I'm going to change. And again, Nikki, I'm waffling. Nikki, you're waffling. Let's cut the waffle. So I hope you have enjoyed this tag. So this is the cards and creativity tag. Apologies there. I keep getting cut off. We just had the bin men go past, so I had to stop because it's very, very, very noisy. How rude. Anyway, so this was the cards and creativity tag. It was created by Coffee and Tarot with Mama T, and I originally saw the video from Lady Cara Tarot. It would be lovely to see more people do this, because I think this is just a really good reflective read where you can really think about, well, where is my creative process? Where is it going? I've chosen to use all tarot because I'm a tarot girly. But you can do it with Oracle, you could do it with all tarot. If you saw this video and thought, I'm gonna have a go, just please let me know, because I want to go and come and support your video and hear what you have to say. So have a lovely day, whatever you're doing, and I will see you again soon in another video. If you like this content and you like listening to a rambly 45-year-old neurodivergent lady from the north of England, please drop me a subscription so you can, you know, embrace the madness. You can embrace the madness and chaos that is my life as Nikki T. So have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day, and I will see you all again soon. Catch you later, Moonbeams.